Good evening, everybody. This is your Fleet Commander, Steve Parmley. Tonight, I am joined with Captain Justin Petzik at USS Star Kraken, Fleet Captain John Hardy at the USS Essex, Admiral Jeffrey Higdon, Chief of Communications, Commodore Cory Grant, Regional Coordinator, Region 15, and Ensign Drew Maeurer, USS Haven. And finally, but not last, he finally got his butt in gear, was able to make him make a live screen. Colonel Phillip Cox, the 1st Brigade OIC. Welcome, everybody.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
How's everybody's week going?
Mine could be a little better. I just got furloughed.
I have my grandson sleeping behind me, so I won't be too loud. But then, when am I loud?
That's well. You have to be. You've been loud a few times, my friend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, trying to speak over these guys.
I've been on a few of your regional meetings when you were RC. You kind of got a little loud and testy a few times in your tenure, I believe.
Yeah, you have to be loud with those guys.
Mm-hmm. So, Phillip, what's new with the 1st Brigade since you're taking over? You know, it's sad being an OIC myself. I have not heard nothing from my Brigade OIC.
Oh, that can't be right. I've got some heads. Yeah. No, there's actually a lot.
You know what that means, right? That means it brings somebody's attention for this.
Yeah, he's already watching it. I guarantee you, he's like, just taking notes. Tons of stuff actually happening. I was just kind of looking at my calendar between the online muster that we have in October, and then the regional summit that we have, and then the IC that we have next year. My dance card is getting pretty full pretty quick. So, but yeah, 1st Brigade is rocking and moving. I am cracking the whip on GDPR compliance, so that's been fun.
Thank God.
Sending out those things, but
I was told Region 3rd Brigade's not doing good on their data protection compliance, and I'm just telling you guys, listen now. So if you want an asshole and this is after dark, you want an asshole to blame, it's me. The buck stops with me. If you do not get compliant, you go standby. If you still don't get compliant, you go dry dock. If you don't get that, you go decommission. I don't give a damn. I'm at the point now, everybody's an adult. It takes 45 minutes to do both tests. They're easy. There's no excuses.
There you go. So I'm right there locking step. Forcecom has said something very similar to that effect, so I've been just pushing it down the line. So
good. So, John Hardy, how is lies, Jeremy? That's not what I was told by your Russell Camp. He showed me a very nice, detailed. What is that? Fucking. What is that damn program that's got lines and boxes you can put information in?
Excel.
Thank you. He showed me a nice Excel format with some TNG type material on it, and it doesn't show a lot of 3rd Brigade with their stuff. I'm going to really have to hate if I have to shut down an entire brigade. I will. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I will be that asshole that drags this group kicking and screaming for compliance. And believe me, I've got the support of the AV, so y'all can bitch all you want about it.
I believe it.
I'll tell you, it's such a complicated test. When I took mine, Tori's still having trouble, and I didn't give you the information yet, Steve. I remembered it just as I remembered we're coming on the show tonight to get her in. But when I was getting ready to take the test, I asked her the questions.
Come at me, bro.
It must be whiskey night in Texas.
She has Down syndrome. She hadn't read the material, and she got 90%.
See, look, guys. I mean, it's easy. Look, it's so easy that if Jeremy Karsten, Region 3 RC can do it, by God, anybody can do it. Just saying. Now, look, guys.
It's got to be easy. It's got to be easy if Jeremy can do it.
I had somebody send me a message last night saying that I pick on people too much. Let me explain how this works, guys. If I don't like you, I won't acknowledge that your ass is alive. Okay? I'm a deputy. I'm a fireman. If your ass is burning, I'll throw diesel fuel on you if I don't like you. I'm that type of guy. I don't give a damn. I will not lose any sleep over it. But if I pick on you and I joke with you, I like you. I mean, look at John. John looks like a walking vampire right now. But I mean, it's all in fun, guys. Nothing on this. Nothing on this is meant to be mean. Nothing is. This is all about camaraderie, having a good time, and looking at fellow nerds, because I look pretty damn bad, but when I see some of you guys, I look pretty good, so I'm all right.
Yeah.
Now the ultimate question is our Commander Starfleet CDRP compliant?
Yes, sir. And I've done the outside source, so come at me, bro.
One thing.
What?
I love you too, Steve. These.
Yes. Hang on. Wait. I want to blow your ass up. There you go.
Yes, please do that. I don't know how to do that.
Of course not.
Yeah, move it this side. Yeah, there you go.
Listen.
You want one until December 1st. Donate $40 to SFI, and I will make one for your ship. But note it on your donation that it's for the plaque, and let Susan Olsen know so she can tell me the pertinent information about your ship. Otherwise, I can't make it.
You mean Linda Olsen, not Susan Olsen, right?
Yeah, Linda Olsen. Yep, thinking of the wrong person. It comes with old age, Steve. I'm just getting there. Either that or not enough scotch today. I'm not sure which.
That sounds really good right about now.
And I only drink single malt. You're all welcome to come on down.
Shit. That's a long drive for some single malt. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, and it's not the 150-year-old I used to drink when I had a job and made money.
Oh, Alex Rosenzweig says Avenger Command is compliant. Most of the rest of our command staff is. Somebody get that boy a lollipop.
My wife is compliant on both sides, in-house and out-of-house, because of her job.
What is Sarah smiling about? Anytime Sarah smiles, I get really worried.
It's a good question.
So how many people is compliant in the 1st Brigade there, Phillip? The home brigade for the CS. I expect it should have been at 99% like 2 hours ago.
Yeah, let's hit on percentages. 75% of the command staff is there. I think we're looking at just around 60% brigade, but we're not doing the best when it comes to OICs of the MSGs and everything else. So we're getting weekly reminders. I got one coming out along with some information about our online muster. So it's getting there. It's progressing. It's taking a lot longer than it's getting.
Okay.
Hey, Phillip, handle them how your DI handled you.
Oh, they don't want that. It's interesting because
They make the offer.
I have the commandant. I have the deputy. I have the commandant. I have the CS, and I have a few other Marines in my brigade that are sitting at the higher level. So it's like I'm speaking directly to these guys every single time I'm sending out a requirement that they need to get something done. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Don't feel bad. We talk about you a lot. I'm not gonna lie. I called Ray the other day. I said, "Hey, what the hell is the status of the 1st Brigade?" He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Our 1st Brigade OIC have not contacted me as the unit OIC." I said, "I feel left out." I said, "So I don't know if I should put the CS hat on or I should put the OIC hat on and still chew his ass." I said, "Which one should I do?" He's just like, Steve, he's new. Steve, be nice, Steve.
Telling you, the CS, the general staff of the Marine Corps are very much in contact with me when they need to be. So I always know when someone is talking about me because it's the first phone call. I appreciate that Tom, who probably gets his butt chewed out over me quite a bit, is a lot nicer than most of you guys. So that's a good thing.
You do know that there's higher levels than the GS, right?
Oh, I know. I do.
I'm just saying.
There's higher levels than the CS? What?
No, higher levels than the GS. What the hell are you wearing?
Oh, it's my colors. But I just got back from riding, so I had an NBBA meeting.
Oh. So are you
lots of
saying your
fun.
IQ is 13? Is that why you have your patch on?
No, it's for motorcyclism. There's also 13 steps to the gallows. I'd walk all 13 steps for my brother. That's
Oh. So, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Starfleet, if your stuff still is not done yet, it's because he was out walking to the gallows. We'll put him on the gallows. If you come down to IC 2021, we'll have his ass.
that's
walk.
like my home. The gallows is like my home. Like I just live there.
We'll have him walk the gallows down to IC 2021.
I'm not walking. I'm riding. So
You're riding your bike down?
yeah.
You're doing it tomorrow?
Huh?
You're doing it tomorrow, or you did it tonight?
What? The ride?
Yeah.
Oh no, I just got back home. Like that's why I wasn't here in the beginning.
I got you.
Slacker. You know those low majors on the totem pole, man. You got to keep them in check.
Yeah.
They just need more and more stuff to do to keep them out of trouble.
I guess, Steve. I guess you'll have to demote me or something. Yeah. That.
No, I'm gonna do something really, really worse. I'm gonna promote.
No. Nope.
I'll make sure before I leave, if there's some special circumstance, you'll have a star before I
Hey,
leave.
if he doesn't, I will.
Nope.
Uh-oh.
In my opinion, you already earned a second promotion.
I just got promoted to major.
You should be a
I'm
colonel
not
by now.
promoting you yet.
Oh, Jesus.
Better to be a major pain than a general nuisance. Just think about it.
See, the
that
problem is there's
There
a
you
reason
go.
why I'm a Starfleet Marine Corps reservist. So I get to choose when I choose to use the rank. So the problem is my last name starts with a C. So most of the officer ranks suck. Captain Camp, come on. I sound like I should go on a stereo box. So no, like I switch it back
or at
and
least on
forth.
TV with Captain Kangaroo.
Yep. See, I'm on before him. Like, yeah, that's just bad.
SFMC does not use Starsleep. Listen here, Shane Russell, the guy who never responds to anybody's shit that needs done. I don't want to hear it. You just hush and go back to your corner. See
Oh, Shane.
Onion.
Shane, can I have an extension on my class?
He is the CEO of the Onion. You're right. It's the dirty onion.
Yeah. Or Ryan. But we'll accept Onion as the correct answer.
He should just put as a newsletter link. He should just put the Onion as his newsletter.
He
There
should.
you go.
That'd be awesome.
So Natalie took a picture the other day. We were
impressive.
coming back from taking my 9-year-old home, and it made me really laugh because we were thinking about Starfleet stuff, and Lord behold, did we not see a 53-foot flatbed trailer hauling onions? I shit you not. Natalie took that picture. I plan on posting it on SFI. She still has it on her phone, and it reminded me of Shane Russell, the USS Onion. Lots of onion.
So you say that, and then I have a picture somewhere in my Google Drive of something that passed through that you would have loved, Steve. This would have been like a major ticket. You probably would have got a promotion at your job for pulling that guy over. He had quad trailers, 60-foot flatbed trailers, loading. He had dirt, like just looked like the loader just dropped the dirt on the thing. 4 of them.
Dude, all I had to do was shoot a guy in the testicles with my taser. I got a promotion.
Well, that's
Really,
impressive.
I got a date.
So did each one of the diodes, did one diode go in one and one went in the other, or did they go in the same one?
One went into the tip of the penis, the other one went into the belly button. Dead center. I don't know how the hell I managed that.
Man,
I've got the older X26s, and I can just tell you what my red dot was not where the prongs went.
that's usually how it goes.
That's hilarious.
One day I will show you my taser video. It's embarrassing, but it's hilarious at the same time because I've been tased before when I worked corrections and then coming to the sheriff's office. It was the worst feeling. I don't know why. I have no idea why it was so terrible. And I just happened to have air in my lungs at the time, and it sounds horrible. I've got to share it so that way you guys can
It
experience.
could not be no worse than the guy that had explosive shit. Dude, all right, so they also tell you when you get tasered, don't have a big meal and use the restroom beforehand. So he had shorts on. So about the time that he got shot, it exploded out the bottom.
That's
like instant bombs hit, and there it was.
See, you went that way. I thought you were meaning like someone legit had explosives on them. I'm like, oh, that's no bueno.
It could have been explosives. I'm just saying.
I've seen that. Like I've seen someone get hit tasered with explosives on their person. It's not a pretty sight.
So Alvin, no, all the GDPR classes are being kept in a Google document right now. We're not uploading any more courses to the database right now because the database is literally on its last leg. Once we get the new database over, everything will be transferred over and up to date.
If you're doing it for a purpose, like if you're actually trying to figure out people in your chain of command that you wanted to have the test, if you're trying to figure out whether or not they actually have and they haven't sent you certificates, you can, I'm going to throw you out there, Carol, sorry, but you can contact Carol Thompson and give her or Jill Rayburn, and they'll tell you whether or not they've passed the course or not. Just give them their name.
About 1,021 people has taken the class.
Good stuff.
Let me actually see if it's been updated because nothing from September has been put in yet.
Yeah, it was still in the queue list, I think.
Which is very upsetting.
What Steve said. Okay, yeah, contact Jill Rayburn. Don't contact Carol Thompson.
We have only one person that probably should do it, and that's my Marine Strike Group DOIC. But his computer's going on me, so I'm gonna go down to his house on Saturday and let him use my laptop to do the course. So.
Yep, Jeremy puts it right there. Send your regional coordinator your certificates. That will save a lot of time. And if you're Marine OIC or DOIC, send it to your brigade OIC.
But if you send it to your region RC, you send a bottle of scotch there to get misplaced.
Wait, if you send it to who?
Any brigade or RC, if you want to make sure they keep it, send a bottle of scotch.
Well, we don't have one right now. We have an acting brigade OIC. I guess we could send him a bottle of scotch.
And not every RC likes scotch, thank you.
Boy, oh boy, here we go.
Yeah, some of us have finer tastes. Where's that bottle of champagne?
Oh, no. No.
Give me a bottle of blood wine.
Yeah, you want me to fall over? Give me some, too.
No, we don't want you to fall over, Jeff.
Alvin,
that'd be a real big earthquake in that case.
Yeah, Alvin, all classes for Starfleet Academy, everything from OTS all the way down to like the Harry Potter courses, they're getting put into a master file that is updated by the directors.
Yeah, which is 9 days behind being updated, their Academy staff. No pressure.
God, you were always so far up there.
Well, I'll tell you what's going to be. I'm going to be up their ass even more if that them updating their manuals and tests is not at a higher percentage next month. Because we're not. I think he said they're not even at 50%, and we're damn near. We're 9 months in.
There's a lot of damn courses.
Then they need to start deactivating stuff. He said that he's got people that downright bluntly refusing to do it.
Okay, well then they're going to have a problem of their course is probably going to get this,
I'm fine.
But that's their choice as directors. You can't. That's their choice.
And remember, guys, October 30th is the deadline. It's the day that the AB made it into the membership handbook, which was on the 30th. So it's 90 days. You have till October 30th to get this done. I hate to do it, but I'm going to end up having to put half the fleet on standby, and I will do it.
And it's not a difficult course, guys, and it has a lot of good information. Not pertaining, like everyone likes to put out, GDPR, we don't got people in Europe. It doesn't matter. The stuff that's happening in Europe right now, give it 2-3 years, it's going to be United States. Yeah, it's going to follow suit. Net neutrality followed suit.
Yeah, because California and Colorado is having their own developed, and it will be the international people will have to take it too. So there'll be more tests depending on what it is. People have to take.
Just like almost any legislation, If second California hits it, Oregon and Washington and Nevada will have it within 2 years. And then once they get it, it'll just start moving across slowly.
Don't
Like
worry,
it always happens that way.
We'll make sure John Hardy's the first international member to take it.
He's already taken it.
Exactly. I'm talking about all
he took it he took both courses within like a half hour of them going live.
Yeah, the only people that need to take it is if you have any permissions in the database.
Took me less than about 40 minutes to take both classes.
And see, I mean, that's an old RC talking right there, man. That's easy.
See, Timothy, like Timothy points it out, I'm not taking it because I don't need it. Exactly. If you're not a DOIC, an OIC, or on a regional or brigade staff or a fleet position, you're not the CO or XO of your chapter, you do not require it unless your CO makes an additional addendum. You only need it if you have extended permissions in the database currently.
Someone is just asking, which courses is this?
It would be the Starfleet Data Protection Policy 101 and 102. Is the course we're talking about.
Who is BM? I don't think I've ever seen that person in any streams before.
They're on YouTube. So
I can see they're on YouTube, but I didn't know. I've never seen them before. That's why I was kind of curious.
I could be uncouth with BM. So
We went in the same direction.
Case in point, don't use BM as your username. If it's your initials, put your first name or something. BM is not the best of abbreviated acronyms.
References for that.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
That could be really, really fun to just destroy somebody's image, self-image.
So, Phillip, how is the riots and stuff started dying down up where you're at?
Kind of, sort of. Daniel Cameron, our state attorney general, made an announcement that he's pushing his entire investigation to a grand jury. So we expect some bad stuff to happen. They were actually out with Public Works spraying fire retardant on all the plywood that's up all downtown Louisville. So we expect people to probably set some stuff on fire here probably next week. Because, they were out there just drenching plywood with fire retardant. And I'm like, that's not a good sign, guys. Like, I already know what's going to happen. So, we're expecting the worst, I should say. We're expecting.
Did they have anybody dropping bricks off on street corners on pallets?
No. So, little known fact about the city of Louisville, we have literally almost 1,000 CCTV cameras. We can see pretty much everything at any given point in the city, and that has not come up yet. So,
it's funny because last time I went through Louisville, I did like 80 and never got a speeding ticket. So I'm just saying, y'all don't see everything.
They only work at 5 frames a second, so you were just going fast enough that it didn't catch you.
That many cameras, we're not looking for a whole lot. So
I mean, next time I'll come up there and I'll get one of those D6 cats and have like armor put all around and drive up and down the damn Main Street trying to get somebody's attention.
And
D9.
And weird.
D9.
It's weird because most of Louisville now is a little bit common. I mean, there is one area, the park directly in front of City Hall and across the street from the Justice Center, that has a lot of activity, constant. But troublemakers, I guess you want to say, the ones who are usually responsible for the destruction, they've been identified and taken care of, I guess you can say. So
my daughter pissed somebody off because she's in so for everybody that doesn't know, my daughter's very, very pro-South. She's not racist. She is proud of her heritage. Okay, I know that some people take it the wrong way. Yes, I understand. There's a lot of bad things that happen in the South. There's a lot of bad things that happen in the North too. I'm not saying it's all great, but she's she loves her heritage. And okay, but so she was in a political group, and somebody said that the Black Lives Matter movement has the right to do whatever they want. And she said, no, you do not. You have the right to protest and speech, all this stuff. But she said, when it gets to the point where you're hurting and burning down buildings, that's not, you're out of control. Well, of course, she got called a racist white bitch, all this other stuff, yada, yada. So Daddy got in there. Of course, I'm an asshole, so it's okay. And I said, look, I am 100% all lives matter. I understand everybody. But you have the right to speech. you have the right to march, you have the right to all that stuff. But when you start burning buildings down and you're pulling people out of house buildings and you're killing them and you're setting cars on fire, that's not protesting. You are a domestic terrorist. And he's like, well, what do you think they should do about it? I said, they need to drop the 1st Marine Division in from a C-130. I said, I'll bet you all you pansies running around in unicorn hats and all this other bullshit would stop because they're going to fuck your ward up.
Don't send the 1st Marines. They always get sent to crappy shit. Send one of the other units. Send the 4th, man.
But can you
Marines? You do not want Marines police.
I was in 1st Division, man. We always got screwed over.
But
those boys are usually sitting on their duff somewhere.
Can you though imagine
that's a good fucking point.
As a rider and then burning all this stuff and disrespecting the police, can you imagine their reaction would be when they see paratroopers coming from the sky?
I mean, you had the Kentucky National Guard here.
You got
one of those nights, and they got into it. Like, and I'm going to throw this out there. So what happened? The National Guard was here one night, and they went to an area of Louisville that is known as a less scrupulous area. I mean, everyone knows that this particular gas station on this corner, Dino's, it is ripe with drug activity, just a lot of bad stuff. Louisville Metro Police Department, they don't go there. Even when they have squad-size elements, we're talking multiple cars, they don't go to that section because usually something's going to happen. The particular night that the Kentucky National Guard deployed, they shot somebody. They shot and killed. Now, to be fair, they were being shot at. But one of their PJs, paratroopers, the special forces attached to that particular unit, they engaged and they took out David McAtee because he had a weapon and was shooting. So we had the military in Louisville, and they have engaged with people. So it's not that far off that they would probably come back, especially when this announcement comes next week, because he's already announced that he's going to have something to say, and we are pretty sure it's going to be that they're not going to indict these officers. We've been knowing this for almost 8 months now. So once it hits and this brush fire starts, all it's going to be is just kind of hold on and wait for them to finish.
So Michael, I know that the National Guard is used in situations like this. I was in the service. I understand that. I was making a joke because my grandfather was the 1st Marine Division. So were my uncles, and they don't take, that my grandfather always said, you send us in, we're in the bullshit rapidly and quickly. That's what my grandfather always said. He was a gunnery sergeant. He was a badass. So that's my always thing. I always say Marines can kick it. So I'm more than aware that the weekend, and I call them the weekend nasties because the National Guard, they use 1 week in a month. I've got friends that is lieutenant in the National Guard here in Kentucky. I've got friends that are sergeants and stuff. I bust their chops all the time because I was a coastie and they were a weekend nasty. I told a lieutenant that. I said, you guys are like the tampons from Walmart. You guys are used once a month. So, I mean, and it's not a hate thing. If you've ever been in the service, you know that this group likes to fuck with this group. And the Marines fuck with the Navy, and the Navy fucks with the Coast Guard, the Army fucks with the Marines fucks with everybody. That's just how that is.
Easiest way to explain it, Steve, get a bunch of brothers and sisters together and watch how they fight until someone stands up against one of them.
Exactly.
Right. Then you get to see people die.
My brothers are assholes, but if it comes down that somebody was hurting me or one of the kids, they'd be the first one there with a ball bat.
First ones. Yeah, it's
been usually how it is. Usually how it is.
Time, and I'm not going to go into a tangent about being a black law enforcement officer in Louisville, Kentucky. With everything, but it's been, this community is definitely set for some healing. There's some conversations I'm hoping that is happening at certain levels. I'm a firm believer, though, they need to pull the Band-Aid off of this. I mean, people have been waiting for these announcements for weeks, and it just hasn't happened. So, everyone's passing the buck. City government's passing the buck to state government. State government passed it to the FBI. FBI had the ball for a few weeks. Now they passed it back. So it's like people are waiting for this to go on so it can happen, so they can burn down downtown Louisville, so we can start kind of the rebuilding process and get the conversation going in different directions.
So let me ask you, with that newborn, beautiful baby of yours, are you ready to move to West Kentucky yet?
You know what?
God,
I'm going to tell you something. there has been a particular agency that has been impressing me with their professionalism, with their how cordial they are, even with their interactions here in Louisville. And unless they send me to your area, I might be joining the Kentucky State Police Department. Like that agency is pretty amazing. So if they don't send me there, there's probably no way that I'm gonna get down there. I'm sorry.
I'm not even gonna lie, dude. Troopers are good, but man, troopers really are. I mean, I've got some friends that actually left the Kentucky State Police to go to the Paducah Police Department.
It's true. That's
because there's a lot. And I asked them, I said, why would you leave? And they said, because there's so much that you don't see until you're actually in. And he said, it's a lot of bureaucracy, a lot of bullshit. And he said that once, he was a sergeant at KSP and he's a sergeant now at Paducah PD. And he said, it was the best move I ever did.
Thank you, Kimberly. My baby she's trying to talk. It's really interesting watching her just yell at us randomly now. Because I was like, well, that's different. But yeah, she is adorable, and I can't wait to get home to her every day. So
are you bringing her down to IC 2021? I'd love to see some Spock here with that baby.
We were talking about this earlier, and Florida scares the shit out of me right now. So she is not going to be coming down there. She will be at the Region 1 though, because it's Gatlinburg and it's Tennessee, and we absolutely love the trees and everything down there. So,
yeah, I don't know if I'll be going to the Region 1 Summit just because finances and I'll have and fuel cost and
pilot. Yes.
Yeah. Well, see, the hotels and shit there are not cheap.
Well, Gatlinburg.
And I work in a rural department. They don't pay shit. So
kind of like what he said. I mean, it's combining the fact that we're having a region summit with this is also a vacation for the fam. And she loves Gatlinburg. We went down there 2 or 3 years ago. Had a timeshare and a cabin, and it was great. So we're planning on doing something very similar again. Not the cabin part, but just going down there, taking in the shows, eating, introducing the baby to Tennessee, walking the strip and everything. So it was a good time for the family. And I think this is a perfect time to kind of, the Region 1 needs a summit. So this is something I can't really pass up. So.
Kim wants me to come there. I don't know. I may come down for the day and go back. I don't know.
Wait, when is the Region 1 Summit?
Hell if I know.
Phillip?
Let me.
You would think the 1st Brigade OIC would have that shit memorized, but obviously he's too new yet.
I don't.
Mary should have it memorized because she has everything memorized.
But I'm focused on paying for everything now because next year, and we were discussing this too, it's going to be a really big year for Starfleet kind of coming out of the cave. So paying for my registration fees and my plane tickets and hotels, that's all happening now. That's what I'm taking care of. So
Kimberly Donahue, who just sent me a text message, no, that is not true. I've not heard nothing about that.
But yeah.
Okay.
I think Jeremy Carson needs to come to Region 1 Summit and show us how to drink.
That'd be interesting. I'd be down
He
for
can
that.
teach everybody. He knows how. He's good at it.
Hey, where's that picture at that you had last night? Russell?
What's up?
What was that picture you had last night of Jeremy you need to put on for us?
Oh, 1 second. I got windows over top of everything. Yeah, this one?
Jeremy Carson.
Sorry, Jeremy. I'm never getting rid of that thing. I'm never getting rid of it. I gotta reprocess the one for John still. That one's epic.
Okay, so last night, we were talking because I was bored. I get on there. I wanted to hoot and hot and talk. So my XO, we were up late, and all of a sudden, his eyes shut, and he slowly.
Yeah, it was like this.
Hits, yeah. What? He hits the desk, and he has himself on mute. He's not listening to us. So he was like that the entire time until we were done talking. That was my XO. That was horrible. Just saying. So what do you guys think about the lower deck so far?
Entertaining.
I'm really enjoying it.
I think it's interesting.
I'm looking forward to a lot more of it.
Yeah.
I'm very glad that we are not focusing on, the biggest and shiniest ship in Starfleet for a change.
Hey, Russell, look at the screen.
We're not even focusing on the main part of.
Sounds like a Navy rank right there. 43rd class, nice. I like it.
So
Hey, we do one summit.
14th, 15th, and 16th. Which is nice because my schedule is Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and every other Saturday, so I could make that work.
I actually have to work the holidays going into the holiday season to get enough time off to enjoy all the stuff that I want to do next year. So I'll be working Thanksgiving. I'll be working Christmas Eve, which I don't mind. I literally don't do anything on those days anyway. But yeah, I'm going to have to work this year.
I bet you if your sheriff and your chief deputies like mine, just tell them that you're a Starfleet Marine, you have to be there. They literally, they were going to give me a day off. They didn't know what the hell it was. They thought it was a branch of the armed services. I was going to get a day off with pay. I'm like, you guys are stupid. Just saying.
Like, oh, is that your 1 week in a month requirement? No, it's not. Don't confuse this.
Hey, you never know.
This is.
You never know. You know, Space Force might end up having a reserve contingent they call Starfleet. You never know. It just
The first person to join the Space Force that's in Starfleet, I got to buy them a drink or give them a challenge coin. There it is. Because the first brigade is getting challenge coins.
Hey,
The first person in Starfleet to become a member of the United States Space Force is getting a challenge coin from the first brigade OIC. There you go. I said it.
So I think the CS should get one just because his brigade OIC completely forgot about his ass when he took office.
Well, of course.
Yeah. It's time the colonel learns how to suck up to the ball because the ball is your brigade.
That's what I was told. That's what I was told when I jumped into this particular chair.
Yeah, I bet you were. Oh shit! What do we got to do this real quick? You know, I have not checked. I need to see what our fleet strength is at. See what we're up to now.
all the people.
Well, we actually dropped down to. Oh well, we're still strong. At this time.
So, Steve.
Yeah.
Sarah wants to do a kind of like a little fundraiser for the wildfires, and Tiffany mentioned it also. Are you good with that? I mean, we'll have to figure out exactly where the money will go.
Australian fires, didn't we? Last year.
Hey, Shane Russell, can you read this? There's your update, buddy.
But
so our fleet strength is 5595.
Yeah, we've lost some. We were at 56 about a week ago.
What's our Starfleet Marine strength?
Not much.
I know it was awesome during the brigade muster, or not the brigade muster, the fleet, the international muster. It was awesome because it was like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right.
Two people, 47 chapters unassigned. That's a lot of damn unassigned people. Holy shit.
Wait, what?
Two people, 47. Okay. Now, okay.
Steve. Yes, there was.
There was. I got into being surprised that we had Phillip Cox on here, surprisingly. We don't even have the funeral video anymore, do we? You took it off.
I had to because guess what happens?
What?
It kills the video. The ones where we've used it in the past, they're not viewable anymure.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we had another SFI death. This one was not related to COVID, but of course it still hits us pretty hard. Alvina Bryant of the USS Crockett out of Region 3. My understanding is she passed away suddenly with cancer.
Yep.
I believe it was right after she had submitted her MSR. Is that correct? I'm getting a thumbs up from yes. So it was right after she submitted her MSR that she passed away. And my understanding is she was very active in the region and very active at the chapter level. She was. I met her a couple times. It's been a long time ago. She always had a big smile on her face. She always liked to laugh and always made you feel like you were part of the family. By order of the Commander of Starfleet, I hereby award her the Command Star with the palm. And that will be effective and be printed out and be mailed to the CL to deliver to the family. So,
Actually, I'll be physically giving that one to her because it's right here,
okay.
San Antonio. So, save the postage.
Are we gonna do? Are we doing the medal or what are we doing?
Yeah, I'm just gonna make another one.
So, do you want to show them what they look like?
For those that haven't seen it before, like right now, I got a couple of them that are already pre-made. But
So those right there are the Command Star medals. Now those will not be given to everybody. We have 4 we're giving out, 3 for the people of the COVID death, and of course Alvina. They have to be a very special circumstance to warrant a medal. They have to be active. They have to be a member in good standing. There's a lot that I take in consideration before I will award them a medal. And so we are sending out 4 medals and medal boxes, and they will be delivered to them. Obviously, we all know this is a nerd group. This is fun, but we want to try to symbolize, our condolences and what this person meant for our organization. So we want to try to at least show some pride. Because my understanding is Alvina took it. When you looked at her uniform, she had no lint on it. She made sure everything was pressed and was clean and was very neat and tidy. I mean, she was a model Marine, for what I understand, in Region 3. So we're going to make sure she gets this award, and Russell's going to make sure he hand delivers it to the family. All right. Yes, and like Jeremy said, she never missed a report. So that was it's always hard when you lose somebody in the organization. I've had to announce 4 deaths in 9 months of taking office. That's way too many. 1 is too many. So I pray that everybody stays safe and healthy, especially all of our members on the Western Coast right now with all the fires. I hope everybody's staying safe. I don't want to announce anymore. So hopefully the next year and a half, 2 years, two and a half years will go by without any more issues. Now, is it going to happen? Yes. Is it inevitable? Yes. People die. We basically, from the time we are born out of our mothers, we slowly start to decay and die. That's how that is. But announcing 4 in less than 9 months, actually announcing 4 in 57 days was too much. I mean, that's exactly. She's the 4th person in 57 days. I looked it up. So you just got to remember, I ran on the promise that SFI was like a giant family and it affects us all. I mean, if you haven't ever met the person that passed away, it affects us because we are all one fleet, one organization. So. Well, Russell, can you jump on real quick?
Okay, where'd he go? There he is. There we go. So he's not cut off. He can, when he adds himself back, I'll come back on. I'll drop back down. I actually never got the honor of actually meeting her. I only heard about her from other people, but I heard she was pretty awesome from a number of people on her crew, and then also my crew as well, Jeremy and Sarit. So I also wanted somebody close, like just physical proximity. You're like, oh wow, it hits home, so to speak.
In an organization like ours, if we truly follow the concepts, it should hit us all equally.
Right.
Because we're supposed to be that close.
And we appreciate getting the pat on the back too on occasion. But I mean, that's not why we're doing it. We're doing it to keep our organization running and keep things going and, keep us pertinent. And like my department, we added it in because it was a need that we felt we needed to address. And now we're doing it. And, there'll be other things along the line where we'll have people with skills that'll come on and they'll be able to do things. And just comes down to people wanting to help. Yeah, solemn notes. So has anyone else seen the new Discovery trailer that just hit?
I saw it. Didn't fully focus. Didn't have time to fully focus on it, so I got to go back and see it again.
I've only watched the first 3 episodes.
Oh, well, okay. You got a ways to go.
Those were the ones that were free.
Well, now, if you have regular TV, they will be aired on CBS now.
Yep.
So.
My TV's kind of irregular. We're working on it. More bran muffins, Well,
yeah, you got to get it, Get some of that extra soup or extra strength colon blow, But no, I was rather surprised. They actually the biggest thing I noticed is they showed the 32nd century Starfleet uniform. And it shows this new comm badge. And it has the little logos that they had in the original series, just like the Discovery ones. And the first thing that popped into my mind was, wait, so you mean they went like 800 years without using those things? And then all of a sudden they just said, we're going to use them again. Because we've seen everything up to 29. And they didn't use those ever again.
And that's what I was going to say. I was like, we've had future occurrences. And I was just curious, like, nothing looks anything like, well, I should say what I imagined, because they jumped 900 years. I was just looking at that, and I was kind of curious when I was looking at the trailer. I was like, there should be some sort of continuity that's a little bit closer to what we've already seen, because they have the research. They said it's not going to do it. We're going to completely start over again. So.
Yeah, the latest we saw the Starfleet officer was 29th century. Because Daniel specifically says he is from a different organization, which obviously at some point the Time Police kind of separated off of Starfleet and they went their own little tangent. Yeah, this is the first time we've seen one in we see a 32nd century person, and I was just looking at it and I was like, huh. They went back to that, huh? That's interesting after 800 years. The Dune trailer, I like that they're following the books a little bit more.
I like the Dune trailer. It looks pretty good.
There are definitely some points.
I love the books. I didn't like the movie that much, and it's kind of like whenever they talk about putting it on a screen, I'm kind of like, yeah, they ruined it the last time.
Well, the Brian Lynch, I will say, the Lynch film, the 1984 one with Kyle MacLachlan and all of that cast, which I will say, amazing cast. But the problem is whenever you give something to that man to direct, it will never be what the source material was. Like, he will change everything to fit his vision as opposed to what the vision of the author was. So a lot of stuff got muddled, like the weirding way, and there's a lot of different things that got messed up.
Right.
When Sci-Fi took it, they kind of went back to the books and kind of reconcentrated it a little bit. They did a lot better job. Children of Dune was also a very good job. They gave a lot of honor to Herbert when they did that one, because it's very similar in a lot of respects to what the book posed, but again, it is a screenplay, so you can't get every little cotton picking detail, especially with a Frank Herbert book, into a film or a miniseries in that case. But I don't know. I'm kind of looking forward to it. I'm a little confused on a couple of the castings, like trying to figure out who Gurney is on the, because the way I heard it before was that Gurney was going to be played by the guy who played Thanos. I can't remember his name offhand. But looking at the trailer, it looks like Jason Momoa is playing Gurney. So,
Don't tell my daughter she'll be stuck at a screen with her tongue hanging out.
Well, he either plays Gurney Halleck or he's playing Duncan Idaho.
Either way.
And the gentleman that played Thanos is Josh Brolin.
Josh Brolin. Josh Brolin's in it, and I thought he was playing Gurney. But then the scene where Paul reunites with Gurney is in the trailer. At least it looks like it is. And it's Jason Momoa, running up and hugging him. And I was like, wait a second. That doesn't make any sense. I thought Josh Brolin's supposed to be Gurney, but who knows?
I'm still waiting for some of these Trek shows to line back up with what Gene thought.
I mean, I recently rewatched TOS, and I will point out some things that I think a lot of people glance over. Gene, yes, had a vision. Don't get me wrong. But there are some blatant points where he kind of goes against his own curve. I mean, when he's talking about punishing, I can't remember the episode, but he's talking about punishing a woman because she won't let him in the door. He's like, I'm going to introduce you to a spanking. And then, at the end of the episode, she's like, Captain, can you show me this spanking? And I was like, wow, that is blatantly chauvinistic.
Oh, yeah. But no, I mean, what I mean by my statement is he tried to show humanity moving towards intelligence above, I've got a weapon, I'm blowing you up.
True.
It seems as every portion shows up, there's more, I'm going to blow you up. How big of an explosion can I create? Just
okay.
For me, that doesn't really cut it.
From what I was from what I got from the panels, when they did the which panel was it? The Strange New Worlds panel. They were talking a lot about that they were going to be going back to the episodic, and that they were going to be concentrating on telling a story in the frame of Star Trek, but that also looks at us as a people and our current situation, and address it from the Trek perspective of how Gene would have envisioned that situation being solved. And we'll just have to see if they get it right. But I mean, at least that's what they're planning to do.
Well, we're not going to be able to tell if they actually got it right. None of us have Gene anymore. I mean, Eugene's there, but
yeah,
the great bird of the galaxy is gone.
True. But I think that we as fans, at least most people as fans, having watched the original series and seen episodes like Private Little War, May This Be Your Last Battlefield, and you've seen those episodes, you kind of get the idea on the frame of reference of what he was actually looking to show on his show. Using it as a method for social change, helping reinforce everything from civil rights of people to all the way to the broad spectrum point of, hey, we shouldn't be in Vietnam.
Right.
This is the situation that's posed. Like we're here, they're there. We're both given two combatants, basically everything they need to fight a war, helping them to fight our war for us. Why are we there? It kind of goes into that, and it is something that I see has been missing from Trek for a while. Deep Space Nine was pretty good at pointing out a lot of different things in that context. They did it a little bit more on the sly than Star Trek, I think the original series did. TNG also did it quite often, even after Gene's passing. But yeah, the more
wasn't as open with their storyline commentary on current social events.
right.
For me, TOS, they slapped you in the face. There it is, bam.
Right.
TNG is kind of like, remember this? Well, we'll move on.
But the thing that strikes me with original series more than anything is us looking back at it, and informed people at the time could watch it and be like, oh my God, this is exactly what this is talking about.
Right.
But the censor didn't catch it very often.
No.
So it's like it made it through all of the studio censors.
They were just prevalent to just cut that out as they are now. Because now they got a committee that just stand there, remove that, take that out, cut that out. That's not right. So they've taken the intelligence out of it for a lot of from my perspective.
Yeah, exactly. Jeremy makes a good point down there. Like, he fought the battles he couldn't fight at the time. He found ways to kind of arrow in on them.
Yeah, he bent the rules until they broke.
Yeah.
He protected his baby, and then the studios got involved, and the next thing you know, nobody's allowed to use anything that might have something about our copyright.
Yeah. And I think a lot of that, I won't say it goes against Gene's vision, but I don't think Gene would be happy with it. He didn't seem like the type that was doing it for the money, so to speak.
No, he wasn't.
I mean, believe me, he loved that check. I wouldn't mind loving that check too, but when you do something you love and you get paid for it,
it's a plus.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's like Elcar's. Had he not wrote in his will, that was public domain forever, so that independent agencies could work on it, make it real. All we'd be able to do is have a screenshot of a screen like that,
Right.
So.
Yeah,
Uh-oh,
and it's.
red alert.
I just noticed it. I'm like, oh, red alert. And I think more than anything, crap. I'm gonna pull him off for the moment since he's on red alert. But yeah, I mean, one of the things that when I was growing up, and it took me a while to get, like, I got some of the episodes. I guess Steve keeps re-adding it. But one of the things that struck me when I was a child watching, there was a couple episodes when I was a kid growing up watching, Past Tense from Deep Space Nine. It was the one where they went to basically right now in San Francisco, and you have the sanctuary districts and stuff like that.
Yeah, take a look at the pictures from the set, from the show, and from real life, and you're like, oh my God, it's a repeat.
Yeah, but I remember watching it and thinking to myself, and I grew up in Reno, Nevada. We have a homeless problem there. We had a big river right downtown, and you had a lot of vagrancy right down by the river. They basically lived in the little wooded areas and tents, and then they would come up and panhandle on the main street to the tourists. And we saw this, day in, day out. This is just one of the things that we had in our town. And I remember seeing that episode and being like, oh my God, this is something that could actually happen. Like, this is a problem right now. Like, and I think I was in middle school at the time, maybe 7th grade. No, I couldn't have been. It must have been earlier. I must have been still in elementary school, but I remember thinking to myself, this could have happened. Like this is a problem if we don't address it. Like that's basically what they're saying. Hey, we need to look at this. This is something that's, gonna happen if we don't do nothing about it. And from that point on, I kind of had a little bit more of a mind to notice those type of things when they started talking about in specific episodes. And I mean, like I said, Deep Space Nine had a couple of them. They weren't as, how would I put it? They weren't as common as they were in TOS or even TNG for that matter. But then when we moved to like Voyager, I mean, we got very few of them, or it was always lingering on the same points.
Right.
They would hammer in a singular point, and it would be like constant. Like whenever they had their social critical episode, it was always on the same issues, which is mostly like gender equality and stuff like that, which were problems in the 90s.
They went back to being blatant about it.
Yeah.
That's when they really brought it right back out of the closet, which Gene felt that it was wrong for human beings to treat each other with that kind of a disrespect where you should be hidden in the closet.
Correct.
Of course, he also felt that you shouldn't be shoving everything in somebody's face either. And we haven't grown up enough. I don't think we as a race, we haven't grown up enough to see, we can get along. We just extend our hands, stand together, and keep moving.
Yeah. And one of the things that struck me, and this goes against Gene's vision. And one of the things that really made me love Star Trek was episodes in TNG like Honor Among Thieves stands out to me. In the Pale Moonlight. Because
Definitely.
even though they show humanity almost as worse, it shows a criminal element, people becoming criminals because that's the only thing they could do to make a living in Honor Among Thieves. And then to keep his family together, he had to work for the Orion Syndicate. And then he got stuck. He couldn't leave. He was there until he died. And then in Pale Moonlight, do the ends justify the means? Well, we're fighting for our lives. Any means will just anything I have to do to get this to happen, I'm going to do, and I'll be good with it. And it kind of brought it home to me as saying, hey, we're still human, even in this future where we're supposed to be amazingly perfect, and we come from a utopian society effectively.
As Kirk said, I'm a killer, but we're killers, but we're not going to kill today.
Yeah. And it brought it home that yes, even though we developed to the point where there is no hunger, we're not a capitalist society anymore. We are not concerned with the acquisition of wealth as a society. We're more concerned with the acquisition of knowledge and exploration.
Right.
That there's still these points of this, we're still human. Like we're still going to go to links that will break every rule and context that we have set up that will make us go against our better conscience in order to achieve a goal.
Right.
And I mean, that's just. Yeah, that's very true. Like Gene's vision totally was that. And I mean, Deep Space Nine took it down a different path. Even Voyager had its points where it went against the curve too, and that was right in Berman's lap. So
right.
But yeah. Another thing I laugh at is so we talk a lot of people talk online about this isn't Gene's vision. This isn't this. We hate this guy for doing this part, blah, blah, blah. Like they hate the new showrunners. And then the first thing I remember seeing was a mention. It was saying, they need to get Rick Berman back. And I'm like, whoa, wow, we've come full circle, haven't we? Because I remember when people were calling for his head Like,
Yeah, so do I. But I never did. But I always thought somewhere the but then that evolution is showing with Trek more than some of the other shows that have done the same kind of twists and leaving the trail that was left by their creators. Star Trek always manages to swing its way home. Somewhere, somehow, it swings its way home. The rest of them just keep going off on their little teeny whatever. And Trek has an evolution that Trek fans can truly follow all the way across. From way back then to now.
Yeah, that's true. I think that a lot of what people look at is they look at a lot of superficial points and they forget that when you have to, like, good point is like the first season of TNG. The second episode in is probably the most flagrantly racially insensitive episode of almost any show I can imagine. Like, there are episodes of Hill Street Blues that strike me as being, you know, less racially insensitive than that episode is. But and it just goes on, and but that's one episode, you know.
Right.
Everyone has their missteps. It was
the third episode, right? Not Encounter at Farpoint 2.
Yeah. It would have been the third episode aired.
Well, even Encounter at Farpoint, when I was watching that, when it got to the end there, and Q is back there telling Picard, shoot it, destroy it. My brain's like, wow, check it out. Real mankind is telling the ones that have finally figured out what's going on to go back to the old ways.
Right.
Yeah, I was wondering if Phillip was still alive. I didn't see him move for several minutes.
Or did he pause his screen?
He's trying to practice his excuse of why he didn't contact me when he took over as Brigade OIC. It's okay. We'll find out.
Chain of command, sir. That's I'm going to stick with that. Chain. You see us at time. So.
But I was a Marine. I'm a Marine OIC.
I've got levels, sir. Oh, you mean as far as being part of a unit? I got you. Okay.
Yes. You failed horribly there, Colonel.
Awkward conversation. Just, hey, CS, where's the report?
You get a C- for effort.
Roger that.
Hey, Phillip, don't forget to add me before this is over.
Will do. Absolutely.
What is going on?
Doctor Who. Nope. We ain't talking about Doctor Who.
I mean, I will say, give Doctor Who this. Doctor Who has pretty much kept to their guns as far as their canon. Their canon doesn't step on its own toes as much as Star Trek. But at the same point, it's a show about time travel and the Doctor going back and jacking up his timeline and then going forward in time. And it's like, it doesn't matter. He's changed it how many times? So he could muck it and it wouldn't matter because it's just a causality paradox.
But Trek was created to be able to evolve.
Yeah.
Even Star Wars, to a major, if you read the original books, was meant to evolve. If someone else was able to pick up that mantle, they'd be able to fly with it. I don't understand where some of these shows even come from. And I'm with you on Doctor Who. I used to watch it all the way back. I think the last 3 Doctors I haven't watched, but the ones before that I have. And I'm like, well, as soon as you bring them back from the grave, I'll watch it. These guys don't make no sense, and their storylines are so damn confused you can't keep track of it. So,
I mean, for me, another thing that was pretty awesome was the fact of, with Doctor Who wasn't just next forehead of the week. When they got new species, they're like, we don't care how it looks as long as it's not just some guy in a with a thing
right.
put on his head. Which is why you get some of the most ridiculous looking aliens in Doctor Who, to the point where it is like completely ludicrous. Like, but
Doctor
they
Who
tried.
was 3 years before Trek, but what most people don't realize is Doctor Who was also radio before that.
Yes.
So it's been around at least 2 decades longer than Trek, and it's bared a whole lot of abuse and changes. And
Hell, there's a whole generation of people that have never actually seen the entire. Like, that's the one thing we can say about our canon. Someone born 10 years ago can decide at 10 years old, hey, I want to watch it from Star Trek, the original series, all the way through to the modern stuff. They can do that.
Right.
You can't do that with Doctor Who.
That's true. That's
because
true.
they're missing so much of it.
And now they're finally showing where Star Trek, the original series, and then Next Generation again carried it through in creating a series of ideas that led to technological changes.
So let me ask you guys this. They're doing reboots on everything. What would you guys think about a TNG reboot?
No.
Why?
Why would you?
I literally say that about almost any reboot. Why?
Yeah.
Like, if it's something like Dune is a good example. No offense to Tyler, or he's a good guy and all, but I don't like what he did to that book. Needs a reboot. Needs a remake. But something that's like perfectly good, like people have talked about rebooting The Last Starfighter. Leave it alone. It's fine.
Let me ask you this: if they had to reboot it, who would you think would be a good Picard?
Patrick Stewart.
Besides Patrick Stewart. Besides Patrick Stewart, who do you think would be a good Picard?
He's 1,000 years old. Leave him alone.
Ben Kingsley.
I was really thinking that his well, if they didn't kill him off, but the double from Nemesis.
Tom Hardy.
John Hardy?
No,
Yeah.
Tom Hardy. No,
Dude,
Tom
Hardy.
Yeah, Tom Hardy.
Is that your cousin?
You realize
I don't think so.
John Hardy?
You gotta look at our current environment too. If they did that, they'd try to get Morgan Freeman to be Picard.
That'd be awesome.
You know who would make a good captain in Starfleet? Be Samuel L. Jackson. Motherfucker this.
I don't think they would be. I don't think they belong as.
He would have to be Cisco.
Per se. But I'm willing to say that if they could get Samuel L. Jackson or if they could get Morgan Freeman to sit center seat on a ship, that show would rock in ways that you couldn't even keep track of.
Oh yeah.
They would have to censor every other word coming out of Samuel L. Jackson's mouth.
Like
we'll just put it on After Dark and enjoy it ourselves.
There are staples to a fandom, and they're just things you don't mess with. And like you said, what's the reason? If anyone were to come up, and I imagine they've tossed the idea around, let's reboot something that people are buying in box sets to this day, paying X amount of, I would not want to see it. It'd just be something that would be, I wouldn't want to. I still enjoy it to this day. If you look at my Netflix account, I still enjoy TGN and everything else. So I wouldn't want to see anything that we currently have rebooted. I love the enthusiasm and everything that is coming out now for Star Trek. It's a cultural renaissance that we're experiencing, which I didn't think we'd see in our lifetime, let alone the issues with continuity and stuff that we're having. I'm seeing people have a genuine interest in Star Trek, and it's not being just viewed as that's that old sci-fi thing that people like. It's like it's having its own following. It's coming back into its own, which it in turn allows us to sit down and have conversations with people who never thought that they would actually be a Star Trek connoisseur and things of that nature. So I'm excited, but at the same token, if they start tossing around ideas of, well, let's change what's already been established, I'm like, don't do that. Don't go 900 years into the future and do what you want.
I'm with you, but there's no reason why they can't take up from, let's say, in the same time period as First Contact, but stay in Federation space. And just because of the quality of the performers, Morgan Freeman, Samuel L. Jackson, either one, really. Get them in the center seat.
Or Idris
But do you want them playing themselves, or do you want them playing Captain Picard? Because there's a difference when the actor is the actor, and the actor is playing a part.
A completely different character. You understand? Sir Patrick Stewart owns Picard. Why are we going to jack with it? Why is it even a thought to jack with it? Leave it alone. Take up to the next one. Because remember, the one thing we understand about Starfleet is every captain is different and every ship is run different. My favorite captain is Jellicoe. I know everybody says, oh, he's a dick. He's an asshole. And I'm like, yep, he's every CEO I ever had.
It was purposeful, though. That's the thing. What people missed about Jellicoe was that was purposeful. He had to keep everybody on the ship off track.
Yeah. But I look at that and I'm like, okay, he was just the same way as Lieutenant Colonel James Mattis. He was that way when he was over my group. It's like, this boy was not nice to us. So, just saying.
Drew, were you in 2001?
Hmm?
Were you in 2001?
No.
Okay, I was about to say because he was my commander as well, but I was in Camp Rhino.
But I'm sure he wasn't a lieutenant colonel at the time either.
He was a colonel, I believe. Colonel, and then while I was there, I think he got brig.
Yeah, he had just become a lieutenant colonel.
Okay, so we missed each other by a couple years. But
I know in 91.
Hey, I got a question.
It's interesting.
There's a new fan film out that was premiered a couple days ago. It's been promised for years and years and years, called Star Trek First Frontier. Has anybody seen that one?
First Frontier.
I haven't seen it yet, but I've seen a couple of clips, short clips, like 2-3 minutes.
Well, it was it's about the first captain of the Enterprise, Robert April.
April.
Now, I do have one complaint. It was pretty good, but their volume on their voices are low. And then all of a sudden, they use Star Trek 4 soundtrack. And that thing gets loud if you have to bring up the volume to hear what the actors say.
They use Star Trek 4s?
Yeah.
I think of all of them, that's like the least likely one I would use.
Well, they did. They also, Star Trek 3, it would be more like it, Star Trek 3. Because I remember one part was they used the thing that they used for leaving space dock in that movie. They used the soundtrack or that piece of music for that. But it's pretty good. I feel it is. Quite surprised.
I think it's his phone. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, Steve. Or sorry, Jeff.
No
Still
problem.
don't know what it is.
What is that? A nose hair trimmer?
It's a snow cone maker. It's a snow cone maker.
So it is a nose hair.
Oh, it's a knife.
That was a K-bar.
I've got a UC-220 from 1913.
Nice.
The grandfather of the K-bar.
That's almost as old as Cory. Look at that. Yeah.
It was issued to my great-grandfather on my father's side.
Cory, are you coming to IC next year?
I don't know. Depends. I mean, I got to talk to my husband about it. I mean, I still do have free flight benefits, so we'll see where we're going.
Don't talk to him. Tell him that's where you're going.
That's where you're going.
That's horrible, sweetie. You're not married, are you?
Yes, I am.
Uh-huh. You get away with that a lot with your wife?
Oh, hell no, but it's worth a shot.
No.
It's worth a shot. What's the worst that can be happen? You get that look that says, who the fuck are you talking to?
There's a reason why relationships start with the term partnership. Then we got Maeurer.
He must be getting his after action review ready.
I refer to my wife as my new commandant, and she takes full advantage of that authority. And any Marine in here will understand what I mean.
I'm going to. So tomorrow is a day of somber. I don't know if you guys, and I'm going to switch the conversation just for a second. Remember, I mean, most of you do what you were doing on 9/11. So I'm preparing a statement for 1st Brigade because I'm going to put something out with regards to 9/11. But I'm also talking to a couple of classmates back then who just remember how I was in New Jersey at the time of 9/11. I was a freshman in high school, so it was
a freshman in high school.
It was absolutely crazy.
You're so young.
So just talking, and I'm reaching out to people who I haven't talked to since literally last year because we seem to always kind of reconnect around this time. So that's what's happening. If I look distraught, it's because I got people reaching out to me, and I'm like,
I was sophomore year in high school when 9/11 happened. I was the company commander for my ROTC, and I was in an ROTC class when it happened.
mm-hmm.
I was home on leave and then got recalled.
I was on vacation. I had 5 coworkers in Flight 11.
Yikes!
And we were all gathered in the break room, getting ready to go to our different projects, and we watched.
I worked for a television station back there, and I had worked late, so I went to bed, and my wife woke me up and told me there had been an accident. It looked like a plane slammed into the World Trade Center. I went out and watched it. While I was watching it, I was ready to go back to bed. The second plane hit, and I couldn't get any sleep after that. But I had to work that week because they were constantly on. If you remember the news coverage of it, they were on 24 hours for like 5 till Friday night, I think. And we all worked, and although we didn't have any overtime or anything, it was a stressful time for everybody. So
I know a lot of people is starting to forget about 9/11. I know on the back of my fireman's helmet, it's got remember 343 on the back. So
I lost 2 half.
Yeah, Gordon was nearby. Gordon, our former vice commander, way back when, and my boss, and he's a former chief of communications. He was only within a few miles of what happened. He was looking at a house, and thank you, Mary, for reminding me of that. So there were people in Starfleet at the time. He was I think he was vice commander at the time, but he was pretty close to the action.
Oh, we had firefighters leave New Jersey and go without knowing any of the things that they were going to be inhaling and stuff, and then come back to New Jersey, and then the community started to suffer. A few years later, around cancers and the carcinogens and stuff like that they were experiencing. But just that day alone was terrifying because again, no one really knew what was happening, and just walking home because they let us out of school early that day, obviously because it happened pretty early in the morning, and walking home and looking at the planes in the sky, because I remember that distinctly. I actually walked in the house crying because I'm like, Mom, what the hell? Like this out of the norm thing for us completely changed my worldview. Because like 3 years later, I'm going and enlisting in the Marine Corps. So it's a unique day, and for me, this will be the first time I experience it. And bringing the fandoms that I'm a part of into it and letting people know, what, I'm feeling, the COVID and everything else combined on top of this particular memorial. It's pretty important for me to reach out to people that, are experiencing different feelings with regards to it. So it's going to be a rough day tomorrow.
Yeah, I had 2 half brothers that were police officers in one building, 3 that were firefighters, and lost all 5 of them. That's a day I'm not going to forget.
Yeah.
And my other half brother called me up because he was in charge of security for some outfit. He said, "Are you still coming to New York?" "No." "Good. Don't." I said, "Why?" He said, "It's going to get nasty."
My birthday is September 15th. So you've had 9/11 happen. And then literally 4 days later, they had another, I don't know if people remember this, they had another plane incident happen with like engine failure on September 14th to 15th. So
Yeah, I remember the crash in a suburb of New York.
exactly. That's exactly what happened. It was like 4 days after. Of course, 9/11 was all they was talking about. They had another plane crash a few days later. And that now, like, I constantly associate that and everything that happened on 9/11 with my birthday. So it's pretty miserable sometimes. Like, I have to.
If I remember right, the engine fell off that
Yep.
plane. It came off.
Yeah, the engine literally just.
And that caused the crash.
It should be just as important for all of us to remember
Right.
September 12th, because that was the day America finally stood up together. And there was a whole lot of crap settled real fast without any fighting.
Yep.
You know, I think that's for me the whole biggest crime with everything that's happened since is we left that day behind.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine having to like, and Steve, I'm going to use you as an example. You became Commander of Starfleet, and you have been dealing with one dumpster fire after another, for lack of a better term. So to have to be in that position, or be in any position really in this fleet, and have to deal with something as traumatizing as 9/11 when it happened, I don't know. I just think the responsibility of running a fandom and giving people, the experiences that they have. Sometimes people can take it for granted, because I looked at this as an escape from a lot of terrible stuff that's going on. Like, literally outside my windows, I constantly hear emergency crews running, and I know I can turn on my radio and listen to where they're going. But like, this is so important, and some people, they might not see that, they might not understand it. So for me personally, to be able to give people a certain experience and be able to sit and chat with you guys, to go to ICs, to go and reach out to other members, it's super important. And it's mostly because of the events that we got to deal with on a daily basis.
Sorry, my shortest child.
Yeah.
She's my service dog, Blue Heeler Border Collie mix.
Fun. So not only service dog, but can go get ducks for you.
Among other things, yeah. Both breeds are quite capable of taking down a wolf, so I'm not the least bit worried about anything.
I wish my dog could take down a wolf.
People laugh at me because she's only 45 pounds, but I have a tactical vest for her. They're like, why? And I say, because if she wants to go after you, I have to lift her feet off the ground.
So you can get on more things at discount. That's fine.
Don't know who the Steve Parley is.
Parlay? Steve Parlay.
He's drinking bourbon.
Oh.
No, I don't know what's wrong with Jeremy's keyboard. I think it has a life of its own, because keys seem to just not be hit or like move when he hits them, because it'll be like he hit it and then 5 letters later he goes to hit it and it's not there anymore.
Sounds like his keyboard is going out.
I was going to say Carol had that problem about 2 months ago, but we replaced the keyboard and it went away.
Drew, are you ever going to bring your daughter in to say hi?
At this hour, no.
No, not this hour. But I know I know when you sent me her information, I added her. I never know if she got it or not.
She got it.
Okay.
She got it. Mom took her on there, and since she knows you both work in fire rescue and law enforcement, she's like tripled the amount of in love with you, she is, even though she's never met you or heard you or seen you.
Uh-huh.
And I almost went to see if she was awake a little while ago. I was going to say, because she likes to stay up and sneak around.
Yeah, that's a bit excessive, Jillian. I'm not a god.
She's 20. She's 27 years old. She will be 27 on the 9th of next month.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I will say this, and this is something that kind of came to me a couple days ago, actually. This next IC is going to be crazy.
Can't wait. Oh,
Because I'm just thinking in general, as far as what After Dark and the AMAs has done to keep people like in contact with each other. I mean, really, it's a wide spanning group, and it spans like almost every region in the United States. It spans into Australia, spans into Europe, of people that like without like After Dark probably would have never really met them or heard of them other than, a passing report in an MSR or something along those lines. And just thinking like I see there's going to be a lot of people there, especially with this group in general, not just this episode and this segment, but like previous segments and everything. Like it's going to be like almost like a class reunion, I think, in some ways.
My hope is to try to get a camera down there, a good camera, and we'll be doing we'll go live on StreamYard. We'll go live at different aspects so we can actually televise it. We'll even host a cast party and try to get that where people can go in and view that different aspects. Hopefully, I can get several people to bring a laptop and web camera. We'll do different things at a time.
I was thinking that because my tablet has a data plan, so I'm planning on streaming quite a bit of the IC for that reason. The After Dark parts where we're drinking and talking to shit, I'm looking forward to that too. So
now,
I'm just getting myself a nice big beehive wig and a red scant. I'm ready to go.
See, I don't understand how you can wear a scant, Cory. I had one. How do you deal with the shorts?
Sweetie, I got great. Well, never mind. I wear a kilt too, so don't have to worry about that.
No, what I mean, the scant, it has like shorts integrated into it, and it no matter how you wear it, it rides. It's terrible. Yes, I have the scant.
But yes,
I have $1,000 outfits that ride in just the right places. I can make a scant work.
so yeah, hopefully we'll be having an After Dark cocktail. We'll have it televised. We'll have as many people to come in and have a good time and talk and shoot the shit. And
we should have a signature cocktail. Thinking about it for After Dark.
What now?
After Dark should have a signature cocktail.
Milk, it does
Yes.
body good.
Not milk.
It won't be champagne. That's for damn true.
White Russians? Is that what you're saying, Jeff?
it'll
White
be
Russians?
orange juice is what it'll be.
Cory, I see that little tiny finger. You better watch it.
Trust me, it's not a little finger.
Let's not forget the new program we're trying to develop, Starfleet at Large.
Correct.
Which will be a new show. Maybe we can do a couple of live feeds from there.
Well, I should have a couple of producers there that can, help with that.
Yeah, hopefully we can get some people to bring the laptops and cameras, and we'll sit down. You guys can do your whatever that program is, interview people there, and Friday night. My goal is once everybody gets there, the annual get toasted and fucked up night. That's an annual. If you've not been to an IC, that is an annual event. I found this out at the IC 2016 that I went to because like we go upstairs and it's like nothing but wall-to-wall free alcohol. And let me tell you, I've seen some very interesting sides of Starfleet. I'm not gonna lie.
Some you won't repeat.
I'll keep dressed this time.
I can't remember who it was, but it was somebody from Region 4 that was at 2016, and he was blitzed, and I'm walking out the door to go get me a cup of ice, and like he's like streaking down the hallway. And this was like at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Julian, are you freaking kidding me? Are you following the conversation?
Who's Julian?
Oh, look in the comment section. Julian, are you freaking kidding me, sweetie?
Is
Really?
that your husband?
Who?
He asked if I'm a friend of Dorothy.
Like, ha ha ha, that Dorothy? Like,
It's one of those old phrases to ask if you are queer.
oh,
Like if you wore a pink tie. Meh.
You know what? You know what? It's the 21st century. I don't care if you're queer. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care if you're black. I don't care if you're bald. I don't care if you're gray-haired like Jeff Higdon over there. I don't care if you look like a vampire like John Hardy. You know what?
Looks like.
It's the 21st century. If you being gay makes you happy, I respect that. If you being an asshole makes you happy, I respect that. A black man, a Hispanic man, it doesn't matter. Oh, you know what? Same thing I tell my kids. We all bleed the same color. It does not matter what the outside is. My daughter asked me when she was 5 years old, she said, Daddy, why is that person a different color? I said, baby, God makes everybody different. Everybody's unique in their own image. I said, you have to remember, we all bleed the same color. And I had somebody call me black. Call me black. I had somebody call me a racist the other day. I said, how do you figure? Like, well, you don't like black people. Man, that had nothing to do with it. I've got a goddaughter who I love like my own, is blacker than blacktop. She smiles at night. You see teeth and eyeballs. And I love that kid like she's my daughter, and I would die for her. I said, to call me a racist bastard because I'm placing you in handcuffs because you're a cunt. I couldn't. Now I didn't say, no. I didn't have my body. I didn't say it because I had my body cam on. But I can say this now. I was thinking it. She was being a cunt because she wanted it her way, and she was drinking and driving. That's a no-brainer. I mean, that just don't happen. And this was like her fourth time in like 2 years because she wasn't going to get released by pretrial. She sat there, and the judge gave her like 6 months because she went into court and basically called the judge, who's a white judge, a racist bastard. And you know what the judge did? 6 months.
You don't do that.
So
he was nice. He just gave her a sentence. He could have just said, "I'm going to hold you in contempt." Bailiff, take her away.
But no, this day and age, I don't care. I don't really give a shit what you guys. What the hell is this? Show us your pink bits. Okay, no, my kids are watching, Julian, so let's not talk like that. Thank you. Have a great day. Anyways, so I don't really give a damn. You all do what you want. If you're happy, you know what? My best friend, God, his name was Lorenzo Goodman. He's a black man, and I've known him since we were literally one. We met in, our parents lived next door. We hung out all the time. He was always at my house. Friends for over 30 years. He came out to me as gay 2 years ago. I still love him. He's my best friend. I will do anything for him. I don't give a damn. Now, he knows that I don't swing that way. And I told him, I'll always respect you and have your back, but just don't hit on me. Don't take it to that level. Other than that, I don't care. I've got friends that are gay that I would do anything for them. And they know that Steve is straight and Steve don't go in that direction. But you know what? If I need them, they're there. If they need me, I'm there. It doesn't matter about your sexual orientation. It doesn't matter about your damn ethnicity. I mean, I found some really great people that are black. I found some really people that are assholes. I've found some people that don't even send unit OIC's emails. Hey, it all happens.
Right.
Got you again. Look at you.
Hey, I'll have you know, some of my best friends are straight.
So there you go. Who gives a shit? Like some of my
Cory had an outfit was preparing her for getting a job, and they asked her if she saw herself as black, Hispanic, and they listed all this stuff. And Cory says, "Hello, human."
Yeah.
And then it's like, "Oh, well, do you identify as a boy, a girl?" And she said, "It's nighttime." She said, "Hello, boobs. Period. I'm a girl. Duh."
Oh, that's nothing.
And Carol and I, of course, our reaction was, "Awesome sauce, kid." You told them. She did that all on her own. And they said, "No, we can't accept either of those answers because she has to say she identifies as one or the other." And I said, "So you're going to tell me science and religion are wrong, that humanity is a race?" And she said, "Oh, absolutely."
I identify as a Delta flyer.
So here's
I
the
said,
funny
and
thing.
Tori, tell her you're a dog.
I had somebody from the U.S. Census Bureau call me, and they were asking me questions, asking me if I was male, female, stuff like this. I said, well, I said, I am a male. And they said, well, they asked me my white, black. I said I'm Vulcan. And they're
Hey,
like, what is that? I said I'm a Vulcan. And she said, "Oh, is that white? Is that black?" I said, "I'm a Vulcan." And she said, "I don't understand." I said, "Oh, well, obviously you're too narrow-minded to actually understand. It doesn't matter what race I am. I'm trying to answer your question." I said, "I'm from the planet Vulcan." Bitch hung up on me. But I got him to leave me alone. I haven't got no calls back yet.
I usually get people to hang up on me when I ask them what they're wearing. You have to do it just right. You have to do it nice and slow.
Khakis.
So, what are you wearing?
Khakis.
And I've had fun with scam callers recently. That has been my forte. I don't know how my phone number's gotten out there, but I'm going to make them pay for it. So it's been fun.
I had someone disown me on Facebook because I said that either my godfather, Sailors Bruce, United States Air Force, one of the first one-star generals ever, African American, or Colin Powell should have been president during the Obama years. Oh, you're a racist because you can't back this one. I said he's never served in the military. He has no idea how to be commander-in-chief of the armed services.
Yeah, but a lot of them haven't. So even some of the ones that were in the military didn't know how to do it.
But when I said that, she said, "Well, I can't handle your racist attitude." And I'm like, wait a minute. Have you seen Colin Powell? He's black. His parents black.
Yeah, he's the first black. He's the first black man to be named the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff.
Yes,
and he was a 4-star general. Now he would make one hell of a damn president. I'm not even kidding.
Oh hell yeah!
But even he said he doesn't want that position.
Yeah, I told my godfather, but a couple of years before he died, I told my godfather, I said, I did a wrote-in ballot, and I put your name for president. He said, "Boy, I thought you loved me." He said, "I saved this country 47 years of my life in that Air Force uniform, and you're going to tell me that you wanted me to take another job? Screw you."
Let's see. Wow, private chat's blowing up here.
Yeah, being raised in the military, the one thing I learned is we're all brothers and sisters. We all bleed alike. We all die.
We're all assholes at the bitter core.
Yeah, but we don't have to be assholes to each other. We can just be dicks instead.
I'm always an asshole to someone.
I guess it all depends on angles, kid.
Condoleezza Rice is president.
He needs to be slapped.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think she'd do any worse job than pretty much anybody else at this point. Like, I mean, I think you could put Gallagher in the presidency, and he probably wouldn't do as bad a job as some that's happened in the past. Because we've had some.
Amen to that.
We've had some terrible presidents.
Oh, come on. You can put Carrot Top in there and you top some of the ones we've had in the last 30 years.
We've had some terrible CSs, too.
It's the nature of the beast.
Yeah.
Because when it comes down to the presidency, just like the CS, is effectively a popularity contest.
Yeah. Well, Jeremy Karsten for CS, everybody. Write it in.
I'll tell you what we need to do is take a bunch of firefighters and a bunch of sheriff's deputies and just gather them all together and say, okay, you guys are the Senate, you guys are the House. Fix this shit.
Oh, you know what? If I had the chance to go speak in Congress, I'd look at them all. I said, you guys are all fucking retarded. I said, you forget, you're not working for the damn party. You're working for the American citizen.
See, I always liked mine.
Yeah.
So you know how the Senate room is in there's a circular hallway that like surrounds all of the offices in the Capitol, right?
Yeah.
So I had an idea. It was awesome. You put the House and the Senate in their little rooms. And there's a window up atop of them that you could drop food from. And you lock that door. And what you put outside in that hall is you take the tigers from the Washington Zoo, you just leave them out in that damn hallway. And you don't feed them. And you drop all the paperwork down for everything they're supposed to get done and vote on. And until they vote on everything and everything's been adjusted for and passed, they can't leave.
Well, we could also go to the way it was in the time of John Adams. I think that would be fair. If people in a constituency did not think their representative was doing what they should have done, they went to the Capitol building, they grabbed them, they took them out, they tarred and feathered them, put them on a rail, and they shipped them down the Potomac.
Well,
They lost everything.
There's a few people in Starfleet I like to send float down the Potomac. Not lying.
I'm gonna hide.
No, it's not you.
I can see he's looking at me.
No, I'm looking at a few of you guys just saying here.
Yeah,
I
like
think I know. a couple.
One of them has a Marine flag behind him.
what's that? Oh. Love how you say that. I'm immediately looking in the wrong spot. Like,
Hey, at least he has an updated Marine Corps flag.
he does.
Surprise.
Yes.
Are you going to get a 1st Brigade flag?
I got yelled at about that flag, if you didn't know.
Why?
For what?
So when I first put that, so that was the flag that I put an order in on my own, because I didn't know that we had flags in stock in the quartermaster store. So we kind of initiative went and ordered this. It was like $24 flag, and I'm like, so what? You can't support Starfleet? I'm like, wait, time out. I didn't see the flag in the quartermaster store. I didn't even know it was working. Like, yeah, you should buy it off. I was like, okay, fair enough. But yeah, that flag, one of a kind, because I ordered that thing personally. So
Somebody told me the other day that the CS should have a flag, like the
it makes sense.
yeah, like because the president has his own flag. He's the CS needs to have a flag. I'm like,
Well,
Yours would be easy, Steve. It would be a blue flag, and it just have 5 pips on it.
well, technically, the chief of naval operations has his own flag, his VCS. I mean, everybody has their own ensign, I think is what it's actually called.
Yes.
And it's something to identify you. Funny story.
That's why they call them flag officers.
There you go.
Just
Because they have actual flags.
so what's Jimmy throwing a big fit about now?
So, okay, so I know what he's talking about here. So the problem is, on the quartermaster, don't get me wrong, I understand the whole idea of like, oh, we bought these and now people aren't buying them, blah, blah, blah. But here's the thing. The flag is tiny. Okay? It is really hard to do a proper flag folding ceremony when the flag is the size of a goddamn napkin. So that's problem 1. Problem 2, it's a single-sided printed flag. So if you don't fold it the right way, the image doesn't come out right on the fold. It should be a 2 or 3 layer flag with printing on both sides. But no, we need a bigger flag so that when we do, official ceremonies, when, DJ is doing final mission at IC, she's not working with this tiny little flag. That she can actually get the appropriate amount of people folding the flag that are supposed to be folding the flag based on the ceremony she has and such.
Well, you know what I would like to see, and this is just me, and I'm not knocking how they do it, but I would like to see the Marine Corps or the flag we use for the final mission actually properly folded.
What do you mean? It is properly folded?
Armed Forces, U.S. Armed Forces style. Into the triangle. That's me.
Yes, but here's the problem with the U.S. Armed Forces fold style when you fold flags that aren't designed with a field like the United States flag. It doesn't fold right, and it doesn't show any of the image, one. The other thing is, you being in the military are aware that is the only flag folded that way, right? Which means no other should be. They don't fold state flags that way. They don't fold.
Yeah, they do. They do here.
They're not supposed to. They're supposed to fold them in a square format, as far as state flags.
Well, somebody better tell Phillip Cox's good buddy there, Andy Bashir. He's closer to him than I am. I'd call him an idiot if I ever seen him.
But yeah, normally you would fold them in squares.
Him and his mask. Did you hear that he's extending the mask order another 30 days?
I did.
Slap this fucker. I'm dying over here.
I did.
Yeah, try running around with part of your diaphragm missing. Putting on a mask is suicide. But
Yeah,
I do
like-
it anyway.
That's,
PCP, half the police officers that know me will come up and rip it off my face if I'm in a store. They'll say, suicide's a crime. I'll have to arrest you.
Good from Bashir. You come down here and you live in Uncle Andy's neck of the woods and tell me how you feel afterwards. I feel like you shoved the quantum resonator up somewhere.
One thing I will say, as far as getting back to the quartermaster point, and this isn't, I'm not calling anybody out.
Yeah, you
saying, when are we going to update the quartermaster's site to be something?
We have a beta site. It's already there.
Oh, okay.
Greg, I don't know why the fuck I'm yelling at this son of a bitch. Greg Mortensen, send me the link for the damn beta site for the quartermaster.
The other thing I was going to say, the items, when they're posted, somebody needs to go through and actually verify
You hear me?
the item matches the description, matches the picture. Because right now, the 50th anniversary challenge coin has a picture from a coin that doesn't match the description in the item description.
Proud to be Canadian. Congratulations, Jason. I'm proud to be a redneck from Kentucky. Would you shut up?
See, I don't get the finger pointing if you don't wear a mask. I don't wear it because I don't want to die. And it'll block the oxygen to the point where I could pass out and suffocate. My PCP, my cardiologist, and several others have told me that.
Justin, don't touch that button, boy. I'm going to. Ooh. God, now where the hell did it go? There it is. All right. Russell, I'm going to punch you in the damn face.
Damn it, he knew.
No, because Justin put his hands up like, no, Steven, it's not me. Don't hurt me. And then your ass is like looking out the corner of your eye. I'm like, yeah, I got you, fucker. So if you go to this website, I'm going to, oh, shit, I'm going to the wrong computer here.
Just be aware, and I'm not sure if it's been addressed, but the Postal Service is not doing the absolute best right now. So with shipping.
I don't know. Here in Texas, they haven't run into any problems.
We've run into some problems in Kentucky.
All right, so this is when it's ready, and we don't know when that's going to be because my comp ops vice chief drags his feet worse than anything. But this is what it's supposed to look like here.
It looks nice.
Nice, functional, up to date.
A lot of wasted space.
That's what he's not done yet. That's what the 40th anniversary coin looks like. See, that's the type of stuff I'm talking about. Like, I had no idea what this coin looked like because it doesn't have pictures on the other side.
I'm hoping to get better pictures. Now, guys, if you guys need rank pips, I'm not even kidding, dude. We got like 40 of each of these motherfuckers here. My son.
How are they held on?
I don't know.
With class.
Probably not. Yeah, probably
They're
not
pins.
magnetic.
They're pin backs.
But I'm not the one that ordered these. So Drew made me some nice magnetic ones that's coming my way, so I won't tear up my uniform anymore, which I appreciate.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Postal insurance, yeah. I mean, we'll eventually. Because we're gonna go through here and look at this crap, and anything that we've had longer than 4 years or 5 years has not sold, we're getting rid of. I don't care if we give it out as freebies at an IC. I don't really give a crap. We need stuff that will sell and not sit here for decades.
Just put it on a clearance section.
Hey, Steve, does the quartermaster have any of the red hats or the other color hats, or is it only the blue ones left?
I don't know. Let me go look. Hang on. $18 for a hat? Holy shit.
What? That's cheap. My UNR hats cost like $26.
I wonder who's modeling this shirt. Let's see here.
Yeah, they're certainly not a 4X.
So
No, that might be a 4X.
we are working on a few ideas. more work on some ideas. So hopefully, casket size flags, that'd be nice to have, wouldn't it? I'll tell you what, I'll get casket size flags when Jeremy Carson announces he's running for CS.
He's going to run for CS in the year 2100. So there you go.
No.
Casket size flag.
I'm going to nominate him, and I'm going to nominate him, and I'm going to get plenty of people to back it. So he ain't going to have a choice. And then you can be his VCS.
I do like the look a lot better, Greg, though. I will say that. So whose screen is this that's being shared? Is that yours, Steve?
Yeah.
Empty your recycle bin.
What? Shut up.
That shit drives me nuts. Like I look at things, it's like fucking recycle bins.
That's where Greg Mortensen put all that porn he uploaded on my computer last night at 2:30 in the morning my time.
Why would he put it there?
Steve, VCS forever. No, you can have James Herring.
Wait, I'm confused. So here's the thing: the VCS is named, right?
What do you mean?
It's not an elected position. It's named by the CS, right?
No, he's
no elected position. He's elected alongside the CS.
Ah, damn.
He actually has to name him by a certain date.
Yeah.
The ones that are named are like myself, the executive committee itself.
Oh,
you
damn.
never know. When I run again, I might make Mr. Phillip Cox my VCS.
So you are running again?
I may. You never know. I can't. This upcoming term, I have to wait one term and then rerun. But I may bring Phillip Cox in. I may make Russell Camp my chief of operations. Hell, I might even bring John Hardy in as the chief of what the hell is he talking about?
It might be tough.
Justin is. This is Justin. He is the associate producer.
Julian, he is my senior production director for this stream segment. Basically, him and the CS, they have total control over it between the two of them.
So, just out of curiosity, who is Julian? Because I've never seen him on a live stream.
Who knows?
I have no idea. He's friends with you on Facebook, Russell.
Really?
Yes.
That narrows it down. I get like 1,000 friend requests every time because most of the time people want to message me for a minute. Let me see.
These are magnets, magnetized.
Ooh. You're just a lonely captain. We gotta get you promoted.
No, I'm an ensign.
Oh, well, you got captain's pips on there.
That's a career set.
Oh, okay.
Actually, that's the. How do I put this? I want to see what they look like. Because I need to place the collar stay in a specific area. And the collars on these particular uniforms are too thin. They crumple too easy. We're going to have to stiffen them up. So we're going to have to put Palon on them.
See, yeah, I could always get promoted to this rank. That'd be cool. Be fine with it.
Let me see.
I can always be promoted to that rank.
Master Chief Petty Officer?
Senior Chief.
Senior Chief.
The best of the chiefs.
Pretty much, huh?
Yeah, because it's not Master Chief, so they don't get a bunch of extra work, and it's not Chief, so they don't have to do PRTs anymore. But so they're like right in that little quasi zone of being awesome still. Like they don't have to worry about stuff.
I've been a Commodore for 13 years. I figure I got to kill someone for promotion.
Yep, I'm pretty sure that's.
Damn, you're a Commodore for that long? Did the last administration not like you?
There we go. Sorry, I had to straighten my ring.
Either that or just everyone liked watching him with his one boxed pip or his 5 pips. See, that's the thing. Commodore goes from the 5 pips, you have the biggest rank, to getting the smallest one. And then if you're Starfleet Marines, it's even worse because you go from having 5 bars to having a butter bar. Because everyone sees it from a distance, like, oh look, it's second lieutenant.
See, I don't mind how they did the Marine Corps rank structure. I don't like how they did the gold bars to represent the flag ranks. I really think that was, and you cannot argue that stars is strictly military. They use stars in a lot of different organizations. I think personally the stars should have stayed for the flag ranks.
I think bars would have worked fine if there was just a separation between the thing around them.
No.
But stars would have been better. I agree.
I mean, most of the uniform services use stars for certain ranks.
But so does security, so does police.
Well, it's still uniform. Security, law enforcement, fire rescue. When you get up there, you're wearing stars.
Emergency management in bigger cities or runs stars for their chiefs and deputy chiefs.
The Surgeon General.
Yeah, don't even get that. That's funny. Sierra.
For the longest time was an Admiral. But hey, what do we know?
They were the STO ones. They were like, they're not quite bars. They're not quite diamonds. They're kind of like squarish, but they're on bias.
I could at least accept diamonds. That'd make it easier to make the magnetic kind for Steve. I'm trying to figure that out. The 2 I have been able to make, I can't place the magnet proper for it to actually hold a position.
Yeah, so he's trying to make. He's trying to make me the 5 bar for the Marines. Obviously, I know without a 5 bar, but I'm not going to be the CS and wear a 4 bar. It's my prerogative.
Diamonds. That was
and it's just they're just not lining up, and the reason why is because the density changes because of the valley.
What are you printing with? What are you printing with, Drew?
Admin Labs Gentry Pro.
Okay. I'll download your settings if you want. I'll just make you an STL that'll be designed for that printer.
Well, that's what I'm doing. I'm in SketchUp making them. So.
Oh, see, I just use AutoCAD. I cheat.
If you want to take the bars for Steve, I'm good for that.
I just don't have a way to print them because my 3D printer sucks. It has extrusion errors and it has a bunch of problems that I haven't been able to solve for like the past 3 years.
Oh, you have a DaVinci too?
No, it's I've heard about them too, but no, I have an M3D. It's something I kickstarted a long time ago. I got it. It worked for one print. It printed one thing right, and ever since, nothing else is printed right. It either under extrudes or over extrudes, or the way circles come out like ovals, and I've done every setting change, and like it does. Yeah, it's I think
I went through mine nuts, and then I said, "Oh, screw this!" I put it back to because I was reading different websites, and they were saying, "Do this, do this, do this, do this, do this," and I'm like, "Okay." Finally, I said, "Screw it!" I put it back on default, and I changed the nozzle at the extruder.
Actually, I got an answer for Alvin real quick if he wants a quick answer to that. Alvin, all you got to do is take a piece of very thin brass. You can get it at like hardware stores, like the sheet brass. Cut it to size however you want it to be your backing for your pins, and literally put it on a piece of like foam, and then put your pins in one by one, and lining them up how you want them, and then press them through the metal, through the brass. The brass will be soft enough and thin enough where you can get it. Then when you put the pins on, since you have that backing piece, it already has the hole. So you just find the hole with your pin and then push it in, and it'll always be the same distance. And then you have something backing it so it stays in a form so they don't fiddle around and, end up being like going opposite directions. I don't know. That's something I learned a long time ago with back before I started doing the unimounts on the ribbons. That's how I used to do it when I just had 3 in each bar and I had them all in separate bars. Yeah, I did that up until I think I had like 10 awards, and then somebody at the PX pointed out those, and I'm like, what?
How long have you had those? 1940.
I was like, what the fuck? I didn't know they had those. Yeah. Let's see here.
So everybody, we're at 2 hours. We're gonna cut it. I've got a bunch of stuff I gotta get done before tomorrow. So tonight we were joined with, of course, Russell Camp, Admiral Jeffrey Higdon, Ensign Drew Maeurer, USS Haven, John Hardy, USS Essex, Commodore Cory Grant, Commodore Cory Region, Region 15, and Colonel Phillip Cox to the 1st Brigade OIC. I do appreciate everybody coming on, and I hope to have you all back on. Phillip, let's not wait another 30 episodes before you come back on, my friend.
Not at all. I will be back on, and I'm going to get on Brigade staff to get you a letter from the – I won't write it. I'll make Brigade staff write it. And that way, just address it as needs. So that way you get the letter from the Brigade OS.
A little late now, but I guess it's good. All right, guys. Everybody have a blessed night. Be safe, okay?
Thank you again. Have a good night.
Yeah.